Hello and welcome. In today's video we are going to talk about adjectives and their word order. And if you continue with this video, you will come to learn what is an attributive adjective, what do you mean by a predicative adjective, and of course what is this? What is a linking verb? Okay, heading on to the video, this is the introduction section where I will introduce you and jog your memory as to what is an adjective. Okay, this is the sentence number 1 which I will be using to clarify on what is an adjective. Henry and Claire, you can see Henry to the left and Claire to the right. Henry and Claire are having dinner in a quiet restaurant. So the word in red, highlighted in red, that is our adjective. Why it is an adjective? Because it says us, it gives us more information about the restaurant. It describes the restaurant, it modifies the restaurant. Here the restaurant is the noun and quiet is the adjective. Henry and Claire are having dinner in a quiet restaurant. Quiet restaurant. What sort of a restaurant? Quiet restaurant. So the quiet, that is an adjective since it describes the noun restaurant. It's a warm evening. So here evening is the noun and warm describes what sort of a evening. Warm modifies the noun evening. So whatever the word that modifies or whatever the word whose function is to describe or modify a noun, we label them as adjectives. It's a warm evening. They are warm. It describes the noun evening. Therefore, warm, it is an adjective. The food is delicious. The food is delicious. Here, the noun, the food, is being described as to being delicious by the word delicious. Since the function of the word delicious is to describe the food, the noun, therefore delicious becomes an adjective in that sense. Henry is feeling romantic. How is Henry being described here? Henry is being described as to being romantic. Our noun here, Henry, is being described by this word romantic. In that sense, romantic is an adjective. So I hope you got this in our introduction section. All I needed was to introduce you to an adjective. What is it? What is its function? Its function is to describe or modify a noun. Quiet restaurant, warm evening, delicious food, romantic Henry. Henry is feeling romantic, so Henry is described by this adjective romantic. Okay, moving on to the next section where we will be discussing about the word order of adjectives. Okay, let me take the previous examples. Henry and Claire are having dinner in a quiet restaurant. Here our adjective quiet has occurred before the noun, and in sentence number 2 the food is delicious. Here the adjective delicious has not occurred before the noun, the food. In fact, it has occurred after the noun, the food, and after the verb is. So basically, in whatever the sentence, adjectives can occur in two places in sentences. They are before a noun, as in sentence number 1, Henry and Claire are having dinner in a quiet restaurant. Quiet. And after a linking verb, as in sentence number 2. The food is delicious. Delicious. So, now, what is a linking verb? We know the basic function of a verb is to express an action. So, a verb is there to express an action. But there are certain verbs which we call linking verbs whose main function is not to express an action. Simply, linking verbs don't express actions. Instead, they express states, results, or even senses. Since they don't express actions, they don't take objects. What is an object? Object is whatever that receives the action stated in the verb. Object is whatever that receives the action performed by the subject of the sentence. So, when it comes to linking verbs don't express actions, but they express states, results, and even senses. So, I will throw you some examples. These are some examples for the most frequently used and common linking verbs you find in English language. First of all, the food is delicious. Here is a linking verb. So, all the 8 verb forms of the verb be, that they are be, am, is, are, was, were, BEEN being, and BEING being. All the 8 verb forms of verb be, they are linking verbs. And all these sensory verbs, you have 5 senses. From the eye, there comes the linking verb seems, and from the ear, sound, and from the nose, smells, and from the tongue, there comes the linking verb tastes, and from the skin or your body, there comes the linking verb feels. And apart from that, verbs like appear, become, get, stay, all these are categorized as linking verbs because they express a state, a sense, but not particularly an action. So, coming back to our point, the word order of adjectives. Adjectives in sentences occur in 2 places. One is before a noun, quote, restaurant, quote. It occurred before the noun restaurant. And the other place is after a linking verb. The food is delicious. There is a verb form of be, which is a linking verb. Delicious, our adjective, has come after the linking verb is. So, special point for you to note down, since linking verbs don't take objects. Since linking verbs don't take objects, they can't take objects because they don't express an action. Since linking verbs don't take objects, whatever they take are called complements. Complements, COMPLEMENTS, complements. We will be looking to it in another detailed video of ours where we'll be expounding, elaborating to you what is a complement. So, SVO, subject verb object pattern, is not found when the verb is a linking verb. When the verb is a linking verb, whatever you get is SVC, subject verb complement. Okay, that's enough. So simply telling, whatever the adjective that occur before a noun, we call it as an attributive adjective, and whatever the adjective that occurs after a linking verb, we label it as predicative adjective. So attributive adjective is an adjective that occur before a noun, and a predicative adjective is an adjective that occur after a linking verb. Okay, to conclude, we will be elaborating this in this tabular format. Okay, in column number 1 we have the adjectives that occur before a noun, simply attributive adjectives. Example number 1, Claire's got a new car. Claire's got a new car. With that contraction removed, Claire has got a new car. It was a dark night. This is good coffee. In all these sentences, the words highlighted in red, new, dark, good, are called adjectives because they come before the nouns car, night, coffee and describe them. Claire has got a new car. What sort of a car has Claire got? It's a new car. The car is being described by new, and it has come before the noun, which makes it an attributive adjective. It was a dark night. What sort of a night? The night is being described as dark. This is good coffee. This is good coffee. How is the coffee? It is good. So these are adjectives, and also moreover they have the degrees. You know the 3 degrees of adjective: positive, comparative, superlative, new, never, newest, dark, darker, the darkest, good, better, best. In that sense also we can conclude that new, dark, good, they are adjectives. Coming to column number 2, in column number 2 we will be elaborating about the adjectives that come after a linking verb. In other words, a predicative adjective. Claire's car is new. Claire's car is new. Here is, that is a verb form of be, which is a linking verb. After that comes the word new, which is an adjective. Here all the linking verbs are highlighted in blue, and whatever highlighted in red, they are the adjectives. Claire's car is new. Here the adjective new has come after the linking verb is, and having come after the linking verb, even though coming after the linking verb is, it still is doing the same function, which is describing about Claire's car. How is Claire's car? It is new. So whatever the adjectives that describe a specific noun, Claire's car, from a distance, that is after the linking verb, not after Claire's car, which is the subject, after the subject Claire's car, and after the verb also is. Whatever the adjectives that describe a particular subject from a distance, within brackets after a linking verb, we label them as predicative adjectives. Claire's car is new. It was getting dark. Here getting is a linking verb. It was getting, so that is the verb, and after the verb we find adjective dark, which describes about it. How was it? It was getting dark. The coffee tastes good. So our subject or the noun, this coffee, is described as good. And we find our adjective, describing adjective, coming after the linking verb tastes. So here tastes is a linking verb which expresses a sense related to the tongue. This coffee tastes good. So that is all, my dear friends, about attributive adjectives, adjectives coming of before a noun, and predicative adjectives, adjectives coming after a linking